This is Henos Sport, bringing you that heat and that fire. We keeping the foot on the what? On the next. We keeping the foot on the what? On the next. Let's talk about it, man. Henos Sport does not run away from the gun. Let me say it again. Henos Sport does not run away from the gun. This is what true alpha extraordinaires that are governed by true alpha economics do. I'm always under the gun. So I'm always gonna show up and show out. Win, lose, or draw. Let me say it again. I'm always going to show up and show out, win, lose, or draw, because it doesn't make me no less of a true alpha extraordinaire that's governed by true alpha economics. Now let's get on to the damn video. Kawhi Leonard. The bottom line is he didn't show up. He didn't show out. Kawhi Leonard gets the biggest blame here because Kawhi Leonard did not step up to the plate. When you are option one, the burden on option one is for you to sign, seal, and deliver this thing like UPS. The burden as option one is for you to close the situation out, to close the games out, for you to rise above the ashes like a phoenix and basically ensure that in clutch and in pressurized situations, you do what you have to do. So the bulk of the blame goes to Kawhi Leonard. Doc Rivers gets some blame because Doc Rivers is the coach. He's the head coach. And in his position as a head coach, he's supposed to make sure that his team is in the best position to win. But the biggest blame goes to Kawhi Leonard because he's the superstar extraordinaire on the team. This loss does not make Kawhi Leonard less of a superstar extraordinaire. If anything, it burns more of a fire in him so that he could come back next year. Paul George gets blamed because Paul George, as an option two, was not consistent. He did not consistently do what he was supposed to as an option two. See, we over here, we keep that same energy over here, dog. Let me say it again. Over here, we keep that same energy, dog. See, this is the difference between Henos Sports platform and all of these other platforms out here. When we lose, we take our losses like men and women of confidence, purpose, and an abundance mindset. Let me say it again. When we lose, we take our L's like men and women of confidence, purpose, and an abundance mindset. I'm going to take this L. But see, here's the thing. Henos Sport, you always hear, and a prediction king strikes again, and a prediction king strikes again. You always hearing him get a prediction right. So when he gets a prediction wrong and it slips through the cracks that he's wrong at one point, it is what it is. No one's perfect. No one's going to be spot free. No one's going to be blemish free. There's going to be spots. There's going to be blemishes. We just have the least amount of spots and we have the least amount of blemishes over here. But credit goes to the Denver Nuggets. Salute goes to the Denver Nuggets. Congratulations go to the Denver Nuggets. I have no problem saying that. They came down from 1-3 and they closed the show. And they exploited Nikola Jokic's mismatch. Henos Sport was saying that. Basketball is all about matchups. And that was a matchup problem to exploit Joker versus Ivica Zubac. That's how you do that. Because Zubac can't hang with the Joker. And I'm glad the coaching strategy switched things to realize that that was the mismatch. That was the issue. And Joker started going off and the series started turning around. Now, the bottom line is this. Doc Rivers does not deserve to be fired. Not after 1 year with LA our way. See, this is the problem with prisoner of the moment fiasco folks. They want to just run to the emotions that they have. They want to run to the hot and bothered like grit status that they have and say, well, Doc Rivers should be fired. He can't manage Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. Now, if Doc Rivers repeats this cycle again next year, then yes, Henos Sport will be the first one to tell you that Doc Rivers' job needs to be excoriated, but not at this point. He should not be fired at this juncture because this is his first year with LA our way. Coaches should be allowed and afforded the opportunity to have at least 2 years of them working with a team before they get fired. To fire a coach after one season with a team, that's ridiculous. And if you are an NBA fan and you apparently don't know the shit about basketball and you want to run with this narrative that he needs to be fired after one season, then again, you don't know shit about basketball. Let's just keep it in context here. There was a COVID-19 situation that happened. I know everybody's caught up in their emotions, but let's not forget the Los Angeles Clippers were peaking right before COVID-19. Defensively, they were clicking on all cylinders. They were peaking in the right gears. And then COVID-19 hit And then all of a sudden they had to change gears. They stopped playing basketball for 3 to 4 to 5 months. See, what I'm saying here is the cold-hearted, unadulterated, cutthroat, truth-telling fashion, and it can't be refuted, and it can't be eaten, and it can't be murked, because it's the truth-telling fashion. The truth hurts, motherfuckers, but it will set you free. The bottom line is they stopped. The Los Angeles Clippers are a defensive-minded team. When you stop playing basketball for that period of time, and then you have to restart again, that means that now you have to get back to that place that you were at. The Los Angeles Clippers that you saw that played against the Denver Nuggets is not the same Los Angeles Clippers that was peaking at that time. That's why Hino's Sport told you that the Prediction King fashion had to fundamentally change. But if you notice, Hino's Sport's ultimate prediction has come to be true. What did Hino's Sport say? That the Los Angeles Lakers will win this NBA title in a fraudulent, fluky, on-the-spot NBA title, in a least path of resistance NBA title. But playing against the Denver Nuggets is the least path of resistance. Playing against the Denver Nuggets is a fraudulent, fluky, on the spot. They rather, it would have been better for them to play the Denver Nuggets as opposed to the Los Angeles Clippers. From a matchup perspective, the Clippers would be harder for the Lakers. This is why LeBron James was celebratory. This is why LeBron James was happy, because now look, the Denver Nuggets, again, not taking nothing away from them. They did what they were supposed to do to get the job done. So this is not about Hino's Sport taking credit away. They beat the Los Angeles Clippers definitively. They beat the Los Angeles Clippers unequivocally. They beat the Los Angeles Clippers without question. Hino's Sport is not going to go against that, because over here we bring in that heat and that fire, and we keep it a foot on the what? On the next. And we keep it a foot on the what? On the next. So we keeping the foot on the damn necks of the Los Angeles Clippers, and we're holding their feet to the fire because they didn't get the job done. They blew a 3-1 lead. It is what it is. There's no justifying that. So salute goes out to the Denver damn Nuggets. But here's the caveat. The Denver Nuggets is the least path of resistance for the Los Angeles Lakers. From a matchup perspective, the Los Angeles Lakers are going to ramalang them. Let me say it again. From a matchup perspective, the Los Angeles Lakers are going to ramalang them. They're easier for the Los Angeles Lakers as opposed to Los Angeles Clippers. This is what Hino's Sport was talking about when he said in ultimate Prediction King fashion that the Los Angeles Lakers are going to win this thing. Because NBA Nike has invested $90 million in this dude, i.e. LeBron James. So they have to recoup their damn investment. And look what's happening. This is why LeBron was so celebratory. And now he's probably somewhere even laughing because he's like, shit, I don't have to deal with Kawhi and PG. This is easy peasy. Let me say it again. I don't have to deal with Kawhi and PG-13. So this is easy peasy. The bottom line is this. Denver Nuggets get salute for winning the series. But they're going to get a rude awakening when they play against the Los Angeles Lakers, because it's going to be what is called a matchup problem for them. They don't have anybody that can guard LeBron James. They don't have anybody that can guard Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is going to ramalang their asses. And Nikola Jokic can't stick Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is too athletic for him. That's what they're going to understand when they play against the Lakers. I got the Lakers winning that series in 6 games. That's the cold-hearted. That's the unadulterated. That's the cutthroat truth-telling fashion. But prior to that, got to give Denver Nuggets credit, because the Denver Nuggets showed up, showed out, and they came back from 1 to 3. They can rest their heads and say, you know what? We made it to the Western Conference Finals, so this is progression. But at the same time, for the Los Angeles Clippers, for them to be together for the first year, this is actually not a failure, because they actually made it to the second round and almost making it to the Western Conference Finals. Yes, I said it. They made it to the second round and almost making it to the Western Conference Finals. It's their first year together. So winning a title obviously was the expectation. They failed. But the bottom line is this. This is their first year together. And people have to remember that. Again, this is their first year together, and folks have to remember that. But bottom line is the Denver Nuggets won. There's no excuses that are going to be made. The Denver Nuggets get the credit of the day. The Denver Nuggets did their thing. The Denver Nuggets did heavyweight lifting. And the Denver Nuggets deserve to be in the position that they're in. And they turned this season around. So at now, it looks like instead of it being a regression, a progression. And anybody that was rooting for the Denver Nuggets, y'all get the biggest what? Salute of the damn day. This is Hino's Sport. Checking out.